Can you imagine a life without school? A life where the concept of a classroom is as foreign as a distant land? Her childhood was just that, a world without formal education, where play and work intertwined seamlessly. Growing up in the rugged mountains of Idaho, their classroom was the junkyard, a place of both adventure and hardship. She and her brothers learned to work alongside their father, their lessons taught through the grind of daily labor. They salvaged metal, hauled scrap, and faced the dangers of his unpredictable moods, each day a test of resilience. Formal education was not just absent, it was forbidden, a concept shrouded in mystery and fear. Her father believed the world outside their mountain was full of evil, determined to corrupt them, and he made sure they knew it. He distrusted everything beyond their family and their faith, instilling in them a deep-seated wariness. Doctors were a menace, hospitals were places to die, and public schools were instruments of the devil, all part of a world they were taught to fear. Their days were spent amongst the rusted metal and spare parts, a playground of sorts, but one fraught with danger. Her mother, a midwife and herbalist, treated their wounds with tinctures and poultices, her remedies a blend of tradition and necessity. They were taught to fear the outside world, to view it with suspicion and distrust, a lesson that shaped their very existence. But even in that isolation, a spark flickered within her, a curiosity that refused to be extinguished. She yearned for something more, a world beyond the mountains, beyond the junkyard. She didn't know what it was called, this yearning, but it felt like a thirst that couldn't be quenched, a longing for knowledge and freedom. This is the story of Tara Westover, as told in her memoir, Educated. As she grew older, the junkyard felt smaller. The mountains seemed to press in closer. Her brothers, seeking escape, found solace in music. They formed a band, their voices weaving magic with their instruments. Their music became her window to the world, their lyrics whispered of places she'd never seen and experiences she longed for. One day, she stumbled upon a book, not just any book, but a textbook discarded in the junkyard. It spoke of history, of civilizations long gone, of ideas that set her mind ablaze. She devoured every word, her hunger for knowledge growing with each page. She began to borrow books, secretly at first, hiding them from her father's watchful eyes. They became her companions, her teachers, her escape from the confines of their mountain. Tyler, sensing her thirst for knowledge, encouraged her to take the leap. He had already escaped their father's grasp, choosing education over the familiar rhythm of the junkyard. He urged her to apply to college, to break free from the chains that bound her. The decision to leave was agonizing. To choose education meant turning her back on everything she knew, on the only life she had ever known. It meant confronting her father's wrath, facing the unknown with a heart full of fear and hope in equal measure. But the yearning within her, the burning desire to learn, had become too strong to ignore. And so, at the age of 17, she stepped onto a bus and left the only home she had ever known. Before we continue, if you're enjoying the content, hit like and subscribe for more insightful summaries. Entering Brigham Young University was like stepping onto another planet. The campus was vast, filled with buildings that seemed to touch the sky, and students who moved with purpose and confidence. The students spoke a language she barely understood, their lives filled with experiences that were foreign to her. They discussed topics with ease, referencing books and theories she had never heard of. She felt like an imposter, a fraud who had tricked her way into this world of knowledge. Every lecture, every discussion was a reminder of how much she didn't know. The professors spoke of history and literature with a passion that ignited her soul. Their enthusiasm was contagious, and for the first time she felt a spark of curiosity and excitement. But their words also exposed the gaps in her own understanding, the vastness of what she didn't know. The transition was brutal. She was constantly reminded of her limitations, of the years of education she had missed. She struggled to keep up, to bridge the chasm between her unconventional upbringing and the rigors of academia. Late nights in the library became her new normal, as she tried to absorb as much as she could. There were moments when she wanted to give up, to retreat back to the familiar comfort of ignorance. The pressure was immense, and the fear of failure loomed large. But the thought of returning to the junkyard, to a life lived in the shadows, fueled her determination. She knew that knowledge came at a price, but she was willing to pay it, no matter how high the cost. As she delved deeper into her studies, she began to question the beliefs that had been ingrained in her since childhood. History, once a distant echo, became a mirror reflecting the complexities of the world. She learned about different cultures, different religions, different ways of seeing the world. For the first time, she allowed herself to question, to challenge, to think critically. It was a painful process, this shedding of old skin, this dismantling of long-held beliefs. It led to conflicts with her family, to accusations of betrayal and abandonment, but with each challenge, with each obstacle overcome, her voice grew stronger. She was no longer the timid girl who had left the mountain. She was a woman forged in the fires of adversity, her spirit tempered by knowledge. Tara's journey took her from the serene mountains of Idaho, where she found solace and inspiration in nature's beauty, to the hallowed halls of Cambridge University. There, amidst the rich history and academic rigor, she earned a PhD in history, a testament to the transformative power of education. But her greatest achievement was not the degree itself, but the person she had become. Education had given her not just knowledge, but the tools to navigate the complexities of the world. Her story is not unique. It is a shared experience. There are countless others who have overcome incredible odds to pursue their dreams. Tara's journey taught her that education is not merely about acquiring facts and figures. It's about expanding horizons, opening minds to new possibilities, challenging assumptions, and discovering the boundless potential that lies within each of us. It's about finding one's voice, expressing one's true self, embracing the power of knowledge, and never, ever giving up on dreams. No matter how impossible they may seem, remember that with determination and education, anything is achievable. We reached the end, but before you leave, let us know in the comments if you are going to read the book. Also join our community of passionate readers by simply subscribing to our channel, where your love for knowledge and great stories truly matters.